Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle and triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Hello, and thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I am speaking with an amazing woman named Sofija. Sofija has created a brilliant life for herself that can only be explained by her constant perseverance and do whatever it takes attitude. She is here today to talk about a different way of viewing life. She advises humans to be daring, to appreciate their failings, and most of all, to have multiple role models to mimic in order to keep a positive focus on life. Welcome, Sofija.
Thank you. It's really an honor to be on the show and to just share everything that I've gone through, especially because I'm so young. I'm 24, and I always feel that I haven't even experienced even like 1 inch of life yet. So thank you again, Sabrina, for inviting me.
I would agree with you that you haven't experienced 1 inch of life. But what's so cool about this and why I'm so excited to have you on is because so many individuals your age are scared to do because of the lack of age that they see. And I feel like the things that you've done, the stuff you've accomplished, the daring acts or actions that you've taken to get to where you are right now, which at 24 is a lot, really helps other people your age, we're talking females here, your age, understand that, like, wow, really? Yeah. Kind of like what we were talking about with this, like, yes, you can. And so I'm super excited to have you here and for you to kind of talk about the stuff that you've done that is not normal. That is not normal. I think you can agree with that.
Yeah, but it's so difficult to like adjust to that. I always say, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, whatever. Yeah. Anyone can do that. And then people are like, no, that's just you.
Yes, it is just you. And yes, we can help other people kind of pull that out of themselves.
Definitely.
So I would like to start, this podcast is all based around storytelling. So I'm excited to hear, like, certain parts of your story and what you're comfortable sharing and excited about sharing. So I want to start with just the main question, which is, what's the biggest or the greatest challenge that you've had in your 24 years? And what did you learn from that challenge?
To be honest, the challenges right now in my lives are constantly changing. And from the first conversation that we had, a lot of things have changed. And I actually want to share that. Yeah, I actually want to share that story with you.
Yes.
So I started working for a company in February, and it's a startup. It's been existed for 2 years, but it's a startup that does things very differently from normal companies. So there's no management, there's no leadership. You are basically in charge of what you do and what you want to accomplish in the company. And of course, there is one main goal of the company, which is, to sustain and to create revenue and all of that. But when it comes to you personally, you have full access and full freedom to explore anything that's of interest for you. And so recently, my biggest challenge is, because I'm one of the founding members of the startup, is that I have the knowledge of a senior marketer because I work in marketing, and it's very difficult with that knowledge and just having the years of experience, but not having companies see you as a senior and give you junior tasks. It's difficult to pivot. So that's my biggest challenge right now. But when it comes to my life, as we've discussed, I would really like to share the story of my operation. So during the corona crisis in 2020, when all of the world went berserk in Europe, in America, all over, um, I I had an emergency operation and it happened from the middle of nowhere. I just started experiencing pain and I just called my doctor and he was like, "Oh, you're just going to go to a little tiny bit of surgery, nothing scary, nothing schmancy." And that turned into 7 months worth of recovery.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there were so many challenges that were involved in that. And first off, it was so psychologically difficult for me to go through that experience because my number one fear in life was operation. And now I had to live through it without my parents, without any mental support. I did this in Portugal while I was on my Erasmus exchange. That's a program in Europe where the European Union finances you to go study to a different university. So I was at a visiting university at the time, and it was just very scary. The first thing that happened was like, okay, I need to go to the doctors every week and I need to experience huge amount of pain. How do we do that when we're extremely scared to do this, you know? And honestly, like I actually remembered this yesterday. I was just like, go day by day.
Yeah.
Let's just survive today. Let's just make it through today. Let's just get out of bed and be able to walk for like 10 meters and we'll be fine. And this lasted for 7 months. And the way that this experience unfolded was that each day the pain would be less and less. For example, if I would have to go to the hospital on a Tuesday and experience really big amount of pain and even have the doctors be like, "Okay, Sofia, this is going to hurt a lot, but I need you to not move." And of course, as a human being, your primary thing in your mind is like, "I want to move. I want to move so badly. I want to move." And then you just try to do your best and stay still. Like the doctors had an understanding that I am 20 years old and that this is a really difficult experience for me. No one can visit because of corona and all of those things, and they were very understanding and supporting of me. And my doctor, who never gives out her personal contact, gave out her personal contact.
Wow.
Because yeah, I really needed someone to connect to while going through this experience. And I was constantly talking to people. As a huge extrovert, I was consistently talking to literally every single person in my field. Like I was talking to my friends, I was talking to my coworkers at the time. I was basically talking to anyone, and it was a lot, man.
So what did you learn?
Oh, what did I learn?
Yeah.
First of all, you need help. And it's great that you're a badass bitch and that you can do things on your own and you're very young and you can do this and you can do that. But there's not a problem in being vulnerable. There's not, you shouldn't feel bad if you need help. That means you're strong enough to ask for it.
Yeah.
And knowing when to ask for help is one of the most difficult things for women, because we're consistently, like right now, I feel that this is going on in the world, like, yeah, women can do it all, women are greatest men, blah 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 blah. But that doesn't mean that we don't need support and we don't need help in what we're doing. So that is the first thing. The second thing is, go day by day. Just take it slow. Like it's so difficult personally for me as an overachiever, as someone who's always tried to do the best thing in my life. It's always been very difficult to take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
And just slowing down, taking a step back, and just letting a little bit of control is so powerful.
Yeah, Definitely 100. So as far as the, looking back, the 7 months go and where you are now, are you good physically?
I am great. I am so good that I'm like trying to do a crow pose right now. And I'm like fully experimenting with yoga, with everything. I mean, I have like a little bit of pain left, and that's always, it's just gonna be a reminder that I went through that experience. But I am awesome. I'm great. I'm doing a lot of physical stuff and like nothing happens. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks
That's
for
awesome.
asking.